It's Keller, and you're listening to the Stale Bread Podcast.
Holy man. Oh, Kelso.
Is he waiting on me? Oh shit! One guest waiting. Whoops!
Oh, yeah.
One guest waiting. Forgot he was here.
He's been fucking sitting there, staring at that jacuzzi.
You leave my jacuzzi alone, bitch.
You're a little low there, buddy.
Yeah, you are a little low.
You're a bitch.
A little louder.
Mr. Bitch. Yours, me.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, that sounded better.
Okay. I do need to get a different microphone stand or something.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled penis pumps.
How big did Peter Piper's pecker really get?
Haley. I want Haley's take on her father's tone and rhetoric.
Yeah, how was that little bitch?
Speak freely, baby. Talk louder and speak freely. He wants to know what you think of my demeanor.
What is that?
How he talks.
The reason he has to take the prescription medication.
Daddy, have you been doing drugs?
Not recently.
That's the wrong question to ask.
That's a wrong. It's the wrong question
Which
today.
drugs?
That's the wrong
Which
question
drugs?
today.
No, hair on. No, baby, not my voice. The way I speak. The things I say.
Well, welcome back to the Stale Bread Podcast. Here we are once again.
Once again.
Oh shit! I found some hair bands. What the hell we got hair bands in the house for?
Shit, Mike, what
Oh,
you
you
doing?
cut off
Uh-oh.
that-
What the hell's going
that
on over
circulation.
What's going on in the studio? What's going on in the studio?
You
Rib
keep those-
for his pleasure.
No.
You keep those around for the random BJs.
Oh gosh. Well. So yeah, we're coming in. We're coming in on kind of a somber day today. We lost one of our own, unfortunately. Denny, unfortunately passed away at honestly we don't know when, but passed away to our knowledge yesterday, and we're kind of fighting a little bit on the side of sadness and anger and confusion, all the things that kind of come along with death. And I kind of figured this would be a good spot to come in and talk about, our relationship with life and death, and kind of move towards some other topics as we move along through that. But I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about it, since it's fresh on our minds.
Okay.
He's, I didn't know him very well. He was on my crew when I worked for AT&T, and from my experiences with him, he was a pretty good guy, pretty decent guy. He had his wild roots about him, but somebody that you could talk to pretty easily, very friendly, very Jeremy, you'd say, how would you characterize him?
He was very open. Very open. He would.
That's true.
He'd tell you how the fuck it is, whether you liked it or not, and if he liked you, you knew it.
Right.
If he didn't, you knew it.
I've heard multiple stories over the past couple, 24 hours about that.
No, he was fun, but
Yeah,
he was a really good fucking guy, man. He would always call before he came in. He was always checking on his guys, making sure everyone was good. You seemed a little off one day. He was usually right there. Hey, man, you good? You all right? He checked on his people.
Killer, I know you didn't know him well. Do you?
No, I didn't know him at all.
You didn't know him at all?
No,
He wasn't that.
I
He
literally
was.
met him one time.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you.
I was like,
I
"That's
thought
some
you were
cool
at
hardware you got," and that was pretty much it. Always a leg up above the competition.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Denny was in a motorcycle accident and had a leg amputated. So he.
That's literally all I knew about him. But
Yeah. And that'll probably
towards the beginning. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Towards the beginning, I pretty much just kept to myself, though, for the most part. I mean, I talked to maybe two people there, which would be Mr. Jeremy Pope over here, and then and maybe Anthony, and that was pretty much it. So I didn't even really even talk to you. You kind of came along later
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't want to make friends. You just wanted to make money.
well, I don't like people.
The truth.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's certain types of people I like, and that's about it. Everybody else, go fuck yourself. So
No, but I'm sure you can agree, though. When shit like this happens, it really makes you kind of take a step back. 'Cause, I mean, as life goes on, we get busier. We have our families, we have our kids, we have our hobbies, all the shit that pertains to our daily lives, and the people that we have to go out of the way to visit and hang out with and give that quality time to. It's hard to detour from the day to day. And
yeah,
I know I mentioned I actually was messaging Denny talking about some business stuff. Um, Talking about grabbing some beers and catching up here in the next couple weeks, and the day to day keeps going. You keep doing your routines, and before you know it, a month has passed, 2 months have passed, and then something like this happens, and you completely lose the opportunity, and it's eye opening. We don't have much time at the end of the day.
make the best of it,
Yeah,
or do nothing with it. Whatever makes you happy, really.
some
I mean,
carpe
if
diem
you like doing
shit.
nothing, then there you go.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's proper to seize the day. That's a good way to put it. You know, you only do have so much time. What do you want to do? Just like this podcast. Do we really want to spend time with each other?
You
And
talked me out of it. I don't want to do that. Thank you for
I'm glad I
opening
could be.
my eyes, Mike.
I'm glad I could be that persuasive.
Yeah.
But
Trying.
no, it's something that Jeremy's right. When something like this happens, you have to look back and say, what am I doing? What am I doing with my time? What am I doing with myself? And is it worth it? Just like you said, if it makes you happy, if it makes you feel accomplished, it's sad that it takes an event like this to wake people up. But unfortunately, it does.
I don't know. I think my perspective on death over the years has changed as I've gotten older, and I'm more comfortable with the idea than I was maybe in my younger years, uh, which is weird. I'm not saying I want to die by any means at all. I like living,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do anything crazy. Not yet.
I believe you.
Same.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm more at peace with it now, though. Like I see people like my dad, who's in his 70s, and he's terrified of death. And when I first moved up here, it was like all around the house is nothing but clocks everywhere. Like just remind him of time. It's so strange, but uh, I think it's just something that everybody does. You live, you die. You do the best you can while you're here. You try to do right by your people, your friends, and other people, and that's about it. Do your best. That's it. You're gonna fuck up, but just do what you can as far as good goes.
I agree.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Well, 90% of it is, but yeah.
Are you
No, fuck everybody. Fuck over everybody. Do whatever the fuck you want.
are you comfortable just because it's been so prevalent, or your perspective has, like you say, your perspective has changed? What changed? What changed
I,
your view?
well, I've had a mixture of life emotions from scared shitless to down at the bottom to feeling more comfortable to everything. Like I've had all the array of feelings. So I think that's kind of what changed. Now I'm just like, if it happens, it happens, and then
You talking about the seven
I'm at peace
stages?
with
You
it.
went through those before you even died?
Yes, I've been through all of them. I don't know. I don't know if it was just like a moment or anything. It's just more like I'm just feel like I'd be more at peace with it.
You faded into that. It wasn't a tragic event or anything that made you numb. It's just something
Nah,
that you accepted more and more over time.
yeah, pretty much.
You've, like you said, you've become comfortable with it.
I just got in my head and thought, it's it's going to happen. There's no way around it. So why should I fear it so much? That's more my perspective on it.
Gotcha. You can't do shit
It
about it.
happens to everyone. Right. So why am I going to be a nervous wreck, like always thinking about when or where or how I'm going to die? Because it's going to happen. I just need to chill out and live my life, and then when it does happen, it happens. That's pretty much it.
So you kind of have that World War II soldiers perspective, where they come to the realization that they're going to die. Right before, like, what would happen was these soldiers would go into a battle, and or go before the battle, and they would just say, like, I could die right now, so I'm just going to go live. I'm going to go do the best I can to live, and if it happens, it happens. Once you move past
Well,
that thing, I think that's where you start living. I think you start really living after that.
yeah, I don't think I would put myself in that position though, where I'm like
No,
running
but
out
it's the
there
same. It's the same.
with a gun,
Well,
getting bombs thrown at me.
It's the
But
same
yeah,
mentality, though. Don't you think?
well,
yeah,
there have actually, you may want to Google some of this stuff, but there have actually been psychological studies as far as removing the barrier of facing your morality, or mortality rather. Um, a lot of cancer patients, people with terminal illnesses, have been told, "Hey, you've got 2 months to live. Make amends. You're going to die," and then they don't. They're in a remission, and it completely fucks up their personality a lot of times. And I say fucks up, but it changes them, not necessarily for the worse or for the better, but they notice a personality change, a shift.
Have you seen the movie Funny People with Adam Sandler?
Not
yeah.
yet, but I want to.
It's kind of he gets that diagnosis, and he's going to die, so he kind of goes on this bender, you know doing all kinds of stuff, and then finds out that he's not, and kind of realizes that, well, maybe I do need to make some amends. Now, that's kind of how I feel. I kind of feel that I'm in this position in life where I can move myself into doing better than how I was the day before. Just because I know that one day is going to come.
Yeah. The only thing that would does make me sad to think about when you're thinking about any kind of situation like that is having kids.
Yes.
So how sad they would be, or the will they get over it? Like, I don't know. Like, that's what bothers me more than anything.
No,
So it's more like, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I agree completely. I know what you're talking about. It's when I go, how much of an impact did I actually make? Did I do my job? Are they gonna be okay? You know, are they gonna talk about me? What stories will they tell? What is it that they're going to remember?
I'll have to make myself into an iPad app so they remember me.
Go Transcendence.
Yeah.
That's why we have the podcast, Sailbread Podcast, for everybody to remember.
Oh, they should never listen to this. Never ever. They're gonna think all kinds of things about me. Good lord.
Don't leave any evidence, OJ.
Yeah,
Oh
no
shit!
shit. You gotta quit.
Got it.
Glove don't fit.
It doesn't fit.
Speaking of death,
Exactly. Speaking of death, you know, this guy, OJ Simpson, dies the other day of cancer. I, it's so many mixed emotions for somebody who went through that whole era as a young adult, of knowing that OJ was this incredibly just hallowed superstar of an athlete from his days at USC and in the NFL, where some of his records are still around, I believe, to this murderer. This
you know, real
absolute.
quick, I saw something the other day. I think he, as far as stats go, he's pretty high up there with fumbles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess the fucking gloves didn't fit.
Oh man.
Wow.
No, but for real, look up his fumble record, his stat.
Well, if he was around, he could take another stab at it. You know.
Oh my God.
You know, I was too young when this happened. There's like a 40 year age difference between the three of us. Um,
40? Good
I
lord.
don't know about that, because you would have just been born yesterday if it
if
was
if you add you two together,
it's only like what, I'm 40. Kelly, you're
I'm
40.
42.
okay, excuse my extreme exaggeration. Oh,
I'm like, what are you talking about?
but no, I remember hearing all the jokes. Those fuckers were still around 5, 10 years. Shit, I just said a couple. You just said a couple.
Oh, Norm Macdonald. Speaking of jokes, Norm Macdonald ripped him a new one every Saturday night on Saturday Night Live during. Now you got to remember that trial went on for a year.
Well, over a year.
Yeah,
I think it was,
yeah.
yeah, I think it was two. I was reading so that I can gain some knowledge into some of the shit you guys went through
So
40
how
I think
years
it was
ago.
how
about
old
a
were
year
you,
and a half.
Jeremy?
That was what, 91, 92?
95.
Holy shit! I was born in 91.
Yeah, so
you, you were eating Cheerios, and then
yeah.
your cartoon got shut off to where it came to OJ.
No,
And
we didn't have a TV.
oh shit!
His dino nuggies were burning in the oven.
We could afford Dino Nuggies, man. No,
No, they had regular nuggets. They didn't have no Dino nuggets.
I
The extra fat.
legitimately, as a white person, I have to express this. I legitimately had grape drink.
It's purple drink,
Purple drink,
Jeremy.
dude. Wasn't great.
It's not grape. There's no flavor.
It
It's
it
purple.
said grape on it, but we all knew.
It was purple. I want
No,
some,
that said grope.
I want some of that purple stuff.
We had this family food market off of Orange Blossom Trail,
Oh,
and
did you?
my grandpa would go in there and be like, "Fuck it, gotta give them something." So he got us the red drink, we got the orange drink, we got the purple drink. I'm sorry, forgive my whiteness. But no, purple drink.
Oh, I went to a party one time. Well, me and my brother, we were looking for this party. They told us to come by. It was an apartment complex. So we pull up to the apartment complex. There's like a big party going on, a bunch of people outside. So we walk in, and it's the wrong party. But we, so we're looking for the person we're looking for. Then they're like, "Yeah, come on in, have some pizza. There's some purple drink in the cooler." And we're like having a good time. Then we were looking around. We're like, "Oh shit, we're the only white people here." And they're like, "Hey, it's cool. Y'all white people can stay as long as you just don't touch none of our ladies." And we're like, "Okay, well, that's cool. We'll respect the boundaries. We won't touch none of your ladies." So we're sitting there having a good time drinking. They have like a stripper that comes in, and she's on the floor like doing tricks with empty beer bottles with no hands or nothing, just wiggling them around and everything
Wait,
else.
wait, wait. The
So
way Mike's face just lit up when you said that.
yeah, I swear to God, she even drank a little bit of a beer, but not in her mouth. So, we getting tore up, and then we decided to leave. We hop in the car, and as we're leaving the party, and we never found the original party we were supposed to go to. So as we're leaving, the police are showing up. They're pulling in, and my brother is so hammered, and he's like head out the window with one arm out, and he's just like, "The purple drink got me." He's like throwing up on the side of the car and everything. It was terrible. But that's my purple drink story right there. But cool people.
I still make Kool-Aid. I still get I got Kool-Aid in
No,
the house.
this was alcoholic purple drink.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I got some stuff in the house. I still make it. Still the good stuff.
Well, it's because you're cultured, Mike.
Oh yeah. What can I say?
You fancy.
Every now and then.
That purple Kool-Aid.
You were telling me about back to OJ. You're telling me about this theory that he wasn't the actual murderer.
Well, I saw a clip of actually Nicole Simpson's babysitter that was there was actually a killer. He had been, was it? I don't even remember what it was now. What was it, Mike?
The
Was he
cross country killer,
the cross country killer,
or
and
also known as the Casanova killer. His name was Glenn Rogers, and he was a serial
which
killer.
I still think OJ did it. By the way, I don't, but I think that they might have collaborated to kill her because even when he wrote his book, if I had did it,
Yeah.
I didn't do it,
and he did
but
some interviews. He did some interviews, and they were like, "Well, if I would have done it, I wouldn't have done it alone." That's what he said.
Oh, I
So
didn't know
I'm
that.
wondering, yeah. So I'm wondering if there were two killers. It was actually him and OJ.
you know
And
what pisses me off? He said before he died he was going to let us know. He didn't
he
do that.
did.
I had seen that somewhere.
I'd never heard that.
No, I never heard that one.
I think that man would go to his grave just
I
denying
wouldn't.
it.
Absolutely.
My last word would be fucking psych, and then I'd peace
Well,
out.
he was too proud of a person. He
Exactly.
wanted to have that good image about him. Like that was who OJ was. He wanted people to like him.
I
And he
gotcha.
would do that, put on this persona of who he a great American man is, and that was it.
Jeremy, you need to watch. It's the 30 for 30. It's a series of short movies. It's a mini series about the whole thing, OJ's life and everything. It goes into extreme detail about his motivations and deep theory on why it happened and why it was so captivating across the country.
And really, the only reason he got off because of LAPD and their racism and Rodney King and all that.
Yep.
They
Now,
just wanted him. They wanted their justice back, even though it really wasn't justice in any way. But I could see how that would make them feel. Like they've been mistreated all this time. They're getting beat in the streets and just there's no justice for them. So finally, they got one back. You know,
yeah.
but the sad part was OJ didn't do anything for the black community at all.
Exactly.
Zero. So it
So
wasn't
he
really
just he
black
just
justice. It's just he had that color of skin, and that was it. But he lived a full life of white privilege, pretty much.
I got you. So kind of the opposite of a scapegoat.
Yeah. Well, they wanted their justice for all the past crimes against them. So,
Right. But he took
and like I
he
said,
took
I
the
don't.
win and ran with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
He
now
was
the
really good at running.
now the Goldmans did, yeah, the Goldmans did get him in civil court where he owed them monies upon monies for
Oh
everything for
yeah, it
the
was
rest
like
of his
30
life.
something $1 million.
He had to sell his Heisman Trophy.
He didn't
And
sell it.
didn't I thought he did.
No, no. His partner took all that stuff from the house before they came to get it for the auctions and put it in a storage unit. That's where the robbery thing came into play later because he forgot who even took it and it was in a storage unit the whole time. But him and his partner had a falling out, and he was in Miami and hanging around like some shady people, or not even really shady people. Uh, they were just wanting to hang around because all of the partying and everything that was going on and all the stuff they got from being around OJ. So and women and everything else. But so this guy was selling memorabilia online and it was stuff that he signed from prison before. But he thought, from what they told him, he thought they had their Heisman and all that, and like personal items from his house, like uh, old pictures and Heisman and other stuff that was valuable. So he went there to confront them and get his stuff back, pretty much rob it back. But the guy he had with him had a gun. And then he was like telling them that they couldn't go anywhere, give me my stuff. And in the process, they also stole stuff of that guy's because he had like Pete Rose baseballs and stuff like that. That they took all that stuff too. So then it became a robbery for sure. Like he stole their stuff.
I could have sworn it was auctioned off to cover damages to the Goldmans.
No, he took all that out before. They auctioned off a lot of other stuff, but some of that stuff that he cared about like that, he got moved to a storage beforehand. At least that's what the documentary had said.
Interesting. Because
Yeah, pretty wild stuff.
I know he had actually he at some point they actually had to make him another one
And
for
then
some
he got
reason.
33 years
Yeah,
for that robbery.
yeah.
33 years,
Which is
which they said in most cases that had been like a 2 year sentence maximum. And he got 33 years. So they definitely got him back. That's for damn sure.
Was he in prison?
And yeah, well, I don't know what kind of prison, probably like a federal prison or something. Do you know where he went?
I don't. I do not know.
No, I don't know either. But also with the Goldmans, with them suing him, he moved to Miami and then he started moving money around to other bank accounts that they couldn't get to, and that's the whole reason he was in Miami too.
And the thing that they couldn't touch, I remember, was his retirement
Pension.
for his pension from
Yeah.
the NFL. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know why that they couldn't touch that, but they weren't allowed to do that.
Well, he found a way pretty much around giving them everything anyway. So, which I'm sure most rich people can find a way to do anyway. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
OJ.
so
But
here it is on ESPN. It says on June 17th, 1994 at USC's Heritage Hall, LA Police Department officers arrived and requested that Simpson's 1968 Heisman Trophy and game-worn jersey be removed from the lobby for safety's sake. When Monday arrived and the furor on campus had calmed down, the Heisman and the jersey were returned to the proper place in the Heritage Hall at USC. 8 days later, they were removed again, this time by burglars. So
yeah,
somebody stole it. And then it was returned to USC mysteriously 20 years later. And then it shows a picture of, Simpson at the ceremony receiving it in 68.
that's wild.
Yep, see here it is. It says the trophy was later auctioned off to cover damages awarded to the families of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson.
Later? Like how much later?
I don't know.
Well, maybe it wasn't included with the stuff he removed from the house. Then.
It went for $255,000.
Dang. I could make one of those. Shit. Give me some plaster. I got y'all. But just when he was during the trial, when he was locked up, he was signing autographs, making a living doing that.
Right.
And he was literally made over $3 million just doing that because he was still innocent because he wasn't proven guilty yet. So he was still, and they said that was his normal source of income. So $3 million in autographs.
Sheesh.
How wild is that?
God damn. I'd like to sign a paper and someone hand me $50 for it.
I got you.
We'll just send you to jail first.
Shit, I forgot that part of it.
Degenerate.
They're still looking.
Yeah.
They're still looking for the killer, though. They're still looking.
Or what's your take on Cato?
I think he was just stoned out of his mind in the backyard.
Probably there the whole time. Like,
just like he's in the backyard.
Jimi Hendrix on or something.
Yeah, in the guest house, quote unquote. And OJ comes back and he's like, "I wasn't here." Just,
he's like, "Yeah, I don't even remember you, man.
Exactly.
Who are you?"
Exactly. That's
because I know they were looking into him for a little while too, but it didn't seem like very long.
Yeah, exactly. he got on the stand and won the hearts of lots of girls around the world. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
He was a kind of that Brad Pitt. What's his name? River Phoenix look at the time, and that's he made fortunes off of that just by going on the stand. He was a struggling actor. What did Cato Kalin ever do as far as being an actor?
I never even heard of him before that. So
I still don't know who the fuck he is.
So Cato Kalin was OJ's buddy who lived behind OJ's house, in the guest house on was it Rockingham, I think, in Brentwood, in LA, and he was there the night that the murders took place. And when police officers went to search OJ's place, specifically Mark Furman was the LA Police Department detective, and Mark Furman found, or if you're the conspiracy theorist, claimed to have found the other bloody glove.
Yeah, there's no way.
I don't think OJ's that stupid. I
Well,
don't.
I'm not saying that that guy might not have been racist.
Right.
There's tapes and everything of him saying the N word and all that.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't think he planted that glove. And even in the Made in America uh, show, there's a point where the lawyers are telling him, you know, you should stop taking your arthritis medicine. He's like, I can't do that because my hands will hurt too bad. Why would I do that? And like, because your hands will swell up. And if your hands swell up, guess what? Glove don't fit.
Right. OJ famously, OJ famously tried on the glove, the bloody glove, in front of the jury and put on a show. He struggled with it. He said he turned and said he couldn't put it on. And you'll see that picture of him with the gloves, holding him up with they first off they made him put like rubber gloves underneath as well. So obviously that's another layer where it's not going to fit properly.
Then you stop taking your arthritis medicine on top of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's no way. So that's where the famous line from Johnny Cochran says, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah.
Well, goddamn.
Yep.
But really, the whole thing was just pretty much a race war. That's all it was.
It was a huge race war.
Yeah.
And
in the end,
it divided.
Nobody won.
No. It divided my classrooms. It divided America. It divided people. Just didn't understand.
Yeah.
Kids, I was in 6th grade and I didn't understand, the evidence was all there. It was clear cut. So the famous OJ chase was going on during the NBA finals. And I was a huge basketball fan, still huge basketball fan. And I'm watching the NBA finals with my dad. It was, I can't remember who now. It was Houston, and I can't remember who they were playing. Houston wound up winning the NBA championship. But they broke into the game to cover the Bronco chase. And it got so intense that, when, they break in and there's, picture in picture of, something going on, and then the main thing you're watching, the chase got so intense that the main picture went from the basketball game to OJ, and they put the basketball game in the smaller picture. It wasn't
intense though.
But
it was so
everybody
slow.
was watching it.
So slow. Yeah, that's true.
I was watching the game and I'm sitting there cheering OJ on because, I know OJ as this Hall of Famer, this incredible football star. Of course he's innocent. He didn't do it. No way. So I'm sitting there cheering, and my dad stops me and says, "Stop doing that. That man killed 2 people." And it didn't click to me. It's like, no, he didn't.
That's
No
bullshit.
Way. Yeah, no way.
Not orange juice.
But
the juice is loose.
The juice is loose.
Oh man.
It was big around that time. I'll throw this one back for you, Keller. Were you ever into pogs?
Yes.
Yes,
I was.
Pogs.
I actually got nicknamed that by my 8th grade teacher because I used to always have pogs.
Wait, I had pogs.
You had pogs? Really?
Yeah. The first time I ever stole something.
Oh, wow.
I was 4 years old. No, I was like 6. Yeah, I was 6. And we went to I guess it was like a fucking dollar store or something. And they had the big bins just filled with the pods and the thumpers. What do you call the?
Slammer.
Yeah.
Slammers,
It was
yeah.
called a slammer.
And
So there,
I saw this pog. I'm like, shit, this is really cool. I don't remember what the fuck it looked like now, but that was the shiniest motherfucker in the world. So I asked my mom if I could have it. No, come on, let's go. I'm like, no, I want it. So I put it in my
Said, no, we
pocket.
can't even afford dino nuggets.
Yeah. So I put it in my pocket and I went home. And then I'm like, shit, I just stole something. Mom's going to know when she sees this thing. And
there was
Oh shit. Pog slammer.
there was I
OJ Simpson Pog slammer.
Yep. There was a card store down the street from my house, and I lived in Mandarin at the time, and it had this slammer. It was called In the Slammer, OJ,
And the OJ slammer.
and it was the most expensive slammer you could get at the time. And then I remember this one too. This one was a same thing, In the Slammer, and then it had the chase, the OJ chase on the back.
That's pretty awesome.
that is cool.
Mine just looked like a weed grinder for some reason.
Yep, I remember that. Then the T-shirts came out after he was acquitted. That said, "The juice is loose."
There it goes with the afro. There's one with the Bronco too.
Yeah. Yep. The juice is loose. All over the place.
Good times.
So it was.
Remember when we used to be able to kill people and get away with it?
Shit.
Not no more.
No, goddamn smartphones.
DNA.
And that was the thing. You just said it, Keller. That was the biggest thing. That was the first giant trial with DNA.
Yeah.
They brought in the DNA.
But then they made them look like fools. Like,
Yep.
did you change gloves? Did you
Yep.
touch that with your bare hand? Cross contamination.
Yep.
This could be anybody's DNA.
Goddamn dinner.
This could be Toucan Sam's DNA. We don't know.
This DNA is looking a little fruity pebbly.
Yeah. Just follow your nose.
So I just, yeah, OJ gone. What, 70, 78 years old?
Rest in pieces.
There's a lot of people out there glad about that, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure there's still some people that think he was guilty or innocent. So
76.
We may never know.
So yeah, there's gonna be people that ignore the facts all the time.
Yeah.
So,
see what they want to see.
I go with my gut feeling. My gut's telling me
I gotta
do it.
I gotta shit. That's what my gut's telling.
Oh God.
Wow.
Well, we're only 9:08.
908. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
we're already done with OJ. Who
OJ.
else was the killer? They got away with it.
Who else was a killer that got away with it?
Jack the Ripper was never found.
That's true.
Well, yeah, but see, that's the thing. It would have to be somebody that was found, but then still got away with it.
Whoever got Jimmy Hoffa. You know, I mean, you could, if you're going to ask the question, who got away with it? There's a lot of cases that we'll never know.
Well, it's like JFK. Who murdered him?
The CIA.
That's what I'm saying. But who took the fall?
Nixon. Nixon took the fall.
Nixon.
Yes,
For JFK?
absolutely.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
No.
Yes. For JFK?
Richard Nixon took the fall for all the Kennedy stuff. And here's my theory. Think about it.
So this is a theory now.
No. There is evidence. There is evidence that the CIA was involved in the assassination.
But who was the fall guy?
Well,
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Of course. There's always going to be a fall guy.
Did you just... That fucking British accent came out there. Of course.
Of course.
No, I mean,
On the grass and all.
you
On the
fucking
grass
like
and
that.
all. Of course.
These fucking guys. No, there is evidence pointing to the CIA. Yes, Lee Harvey Oswald was the fall guy. And Jack Ruby shut
What
him
was
up.
their cause for it?
They
To keep their family tradition alive?
no. It was it was for the fiasco, the Bay of Pigs fiasco.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah. Kennedy screwed up and got guys killed. So that was the CIA saying F you. But my theory is that's the backstory. My theory is if you listen to the Watergate tapes of when Nixon was in with, I can't remember who it was. It was the second director, like the second level director of the CIA at the time. There's a tape that hears Richard Nixon say to the CIA guy, he says, "I know who killed Kennedy." Now, what would your normal reaction to that be when somebody tells you, "Hey, I know who killed Kennedy"?
Brother, what?
I would say it's
You
Matt
would say
Groening.
you would say who?
Time traveler.
No, you'd say who? Who did it? You ask, what do you know? Tell me. On this tape, there's dead silence.
Where'd the tape come from?
From the Watergate scandal.
Oh.
They went through all the tapes that, Nixon had the tape recorder in the Oval Office. It was recording everything. So there is that tape of him saying he knows who kills Kennedy. So Trump knows too. Every president knows. But the tape has the CIA guy not responding at all, which is pretty clear evidence to me that it's like, well, this guy knows who did it. I'm going to shut my mouth right now and not say a word.
Do you think he was just like pointing out himself?
We did it.
Yeah.
I know.
Can we do it? Yes, we can.
Did we?
Door comes out with
Absolutely.
a backpack. Boots. We're closing the border on you.
I think it was a combination of Richard Nixon losing that election to Kennedy. Because remember, he lost that election. That was the most tightly contested election in U.S. history at that point. And Nixon lost. You have a combination of that plus the Bay of Pigs and Bobby Kennedy being, what was he at the time? He was, oh gosh, I can't remember what position he was in, but he was rounding up all the mafiosos and get them off the streets and put them out of business. So I honestly think it was a combination of all three. And for Richard Nixon to say, "I know who killed him," does that say to me that he knows why or he knows who?
I don't know anything about Richard Nixon. I'm not
Richard
a crook.
Richard
I'm not
Nixon.
a crook.
Richard Nixon
and the
was
Watergate, and that's about it. But I grew up with Ronald Reagan, so
the most popular president ever.
yeah, but horrible liar.
He was he got hosed.
Yeah.
He was the fall guy for Watergate. He was
So
literally
you
the
don't
fall
think
guy.
it, but he knew about all of it. So
Of course he did.
he was guilty.
But no, I'm not saying he was. He wasn't. I'm not saying he wasn't guilty. But
did he get away with it?
nope,
No.
sure didn't.
Wait,
I'm just amazed that
Nixon went to prison?
no, he resigned.
Then he got away with it.
All right, okay, all right, there you go. He got away with it.
Yeah.
Resigned.
I bet
The
he
position.
he probably still got his presidential money for every year.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Had Secret Service, all that stuff.
I don't know.
For life.
Did he? Did he get his retirement?
I mean, you would kind of have to with all the secrets and shit you know. Like, hey, take care of me.
He still resigned the presidency though. He didn't. He wasn't. Taken out in an election. When you resign a position, you normally don't get that stuff.
Well, he at least had service.
It's true.
They had to keep him safe.
It was his second presidency. That's true. His second term. That's true. That's a good question. I don't know that.
Oh, presidents.
That stuff fascinates me.
I just feel they're all liars.
You know what fascinates me? Ben and Jerry's.
Bluebell ice cream?
Bluebell ice cream. Because it tastes just like the good old days. Thank you, Bluebell. Come back with my ice cream.
Please sponsor us.
Please sponsor
Rocky
us.
Mountain
Bluebell.
Road.
Please.
Fuck Ben and
Vanilla
Jerry's.
is amazing.
Ben and Jerry's is shit. It's Bluebell.
No, man, you can't knock Cherry Garcia. Cherry Garcia, Ben and Jerry's. Oh man, that's one of my favorites.
I like the Chunky Monkey one. Or no, that's not the one I like. That's the banana and chocolate. What's that other one? I think I like the fish food one or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but when it comes to it's expensive as hell. When it comes to your everyday ice cream, it's Bluebell all day.
Bluebell.
All day long.
I can go fancy. I like my gelato, like the Talenti. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they got what's that other one? Oh, for another good ice cream is Tillamook. Have you ever had that?
I've had it. I'm not impressed.
No?
No.
The vanilla is actually usually pretty damn good. It's super soft and
you ever have M&M waffles and ice cream?
M&M waffles.
Yeah.
And ice cream.
In ice cream?
Somebody smokes way
and
too
ice
much
cream.
weed. I'm telling.
It's fucking good, man.
Yeah, I bet it is when you're high as shit.
And the ice cream is too.
Good.
When you're not high as shit. And also when you're high as shit.
Speaking of that, that's kind of how this whole podcast name came about. Because a long time ago, years back, my cousin and I came up here to my dad's house to visit. At the time, my dad smoked weed because it helped him with his back pain and everything. So we go up here, and my cousin's never smoked before. And I'm like, my dad's out on the patio smoking. And I was like, I'm going to smoke too. I was like, you should try it out. Come on. And he comes out and he's like, I don't know. I feel a little nervous and everything. I was like, everything's better. Everything sounds better. Everything tastes better. Everything's great. And you'll just feel super calm and relaxed. And so we finally talk him into it. And we're on the patio. It hits him, and we start laughing about just random goofy stuff. And I was like, now it's time to go get something to eat. It's going to be so good. And we go in the kitchen, and it's at my dad's house, so he don't have a lot of food. But I'm like looking in the cabinet, so I'm like, all right, we'll make some sandwiches. And I make him this sandwich, and he's like bites it, and he's like chewing on it like forever. He's just like, bread so stale, it's so dry. he's, he looks like he's about to cry. He chewing this sandwich. He's like, it's so dry, so dry. Why? And then he's like, okay. I was like, oh, okay. Well, throw it away if it's that dry. Like if it's the bread's that stale. And then so he's got this giant thing on the counter too. It's like this generic pub mix. It just says like pub mix, but all the pub mix for some reason is like radioactive orange. But we're like, all right, we're going to dive into this, and we start eating it. Literally the worst thing I've ever tasted in my whole life. It was so bad. Everything we ate was terrible. And I was just like, felt so terrible. I was like, your first experience of what's supposed to be enhanced flavors is just pure shit.
It enhanced it to shit. It was
Yeah,
mediocre before, then it went horribly bad.
He redeemed himself later on, so he got to actually eat some good food. But that was a tense day too. Then we went out to a seafood restaurant where my late stepmother at the time was like, just like instantly like, well, we didn't invite him here, so we're not paying for him and stuff like that. He's like, I never asked anybody to pay for me. Like, I'll pay for my own food. It got real awkward and stuff. So
Oh, jeez.
I was like, what a vacation. Come eat some stale bread and eat the worst pub mix of your life and get accused of wanting someone to pay for your dinner. Welcome home to the family. Yeah. But that's my buddy. He should come on the podcast sometime. Tell me some of his
guess who we
stories.
have in the waiting room now?
Oh. I was like, nah, that man's on a cruise. He's in Mexico right now. Coming from the Mexican seas where he went overboard and he's trying to get through the wall to get back.
Oh, I'm American, I swear.
There's no way they could.
Holding his
that man has
passport.
bright red hair.
I got my passport. I got it.
Hey, Mike.
Oh.
Yeah.
Set a marker. I had to change audio device.
All right.
So.
Oh, you're definitely coming in clear for sure.
Yeah, but it started a new recording,
goodness.
so I want you to be aware of the event around
now. Okay.
We'll talk about it more later, but yeah, mark it.
It should be fine.
Okay.
He had to poop.
No.
Probably.
That's what it was.
No.
The Stale Poop Podcast, brought to you by Bluebell.
This shit is stale.
So stale. So dry. Sandwich so dry. Yeah, I've had a few moments with him, and I got him super drunk at a trailer that we had to go fishing. Well, my wife's, I guess, stepdad has a trailer out in Green Cove, and we used to go out there and drink all day and go fishing out the back because it was right on the water. And invited him over, and we started playing these drinking games. And he seemed like he was okay, and we were like a good 25-30 minutes into it, but we're like drinking pretty heavily. And he's perfectly normal. Then he goes to stand up, and dude lost all functions of his body, his brain, everything. He was like, oh, what is going on? And he's like looking at one of our friends, Mac, there, and Mac's like, I gotta go now. And he's like, Mac, don't go, Mac. I like you, Mac. Don't go. And he's like holding on to him, not letting the man out the door. He finally gets out and leaves. And then he's like sitting there. I'm like, dude, you must be tore up now. Like that, happened almost instantly.
Is he,
as soon as you stood up?
Is he Scooby Doo?
That's how he sounds when he was drunk. That drunk. He was like, Mac, don't go, Mac. And then he's like talking to me, and like mid sentence, he projectile vomits.
Oh, nice.
Onto the wall by the garbage can, and it just is flying out of his. I've never seen anything like that in my whole life. Never. It was literally like The Exorcist, like shooting out of his face hole all over the place. And of course, this is my cousin, so then I have to clean up his puke. It was like the worst ever. I was just like, oh, I can't. That was before I had kids too, so I wasn't used to dealing with other people's bodily functions. So good times. And then he slept in the bathroom on the floor because he was hammered all
Clark
night.
Clark will tell you the story of when I projectile vomited in his garage.
Oh man.
That was a fun night.
I think I heard about that before.
Yeah, and he's got video and
Of course
pictures,
he does.
and he's ready to blackmail me at any moment.
Yo, he's got that for protection.
Fuck it. Let's put it on a t-shirt. Let's just wear them. It'll say "shoot your shot."
Oh, man.
New merchandise coming.
Oh, yes. Shoot your shot merchandise.
Yo, for real,
That
Mike.
was
See if you can get that fucking picture.
Hell no.
Come
No,
on,
I don't
man.
want.
We'll just do
ever
an
wanna
outline
see
of
that.
it. We'll just do an outline of it.
I don't ever want to see that.
Or it'll say, "I identify as a projectile."
Oh shit!
I used to be a missile launcher in my past life.
Put it on the end of a Scud rocket.
I'm telling you, we gotta get this merchandise going for
Get the merch
our
going?
0
Okay.
listeners right now.
All right.
One day we'll have one guy, and he might buy something. You know?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Stalebreadpodcaststore.com.
Hey, we gotta lock down that domain.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. So
Still, what was it?
Stalebreadpodcaststore.com.
Ah, okay. That's a mouthful.
Just click the link. If it doesn't work,
Yeah. Click the link.
we haven't built it.
Okay.
Link in our
I was about to
description.
say, that's a lot of letters to type with my two fingers, since I only type with two fingers.
Well, that's why you have the link in the description, and leave a thumbs up for a like.
Oh, look at you, advertising genius over here.
You know, there you go. Gotta get it
You
in.
go to Harvard.
Yep. Have it. I parked my car in Javier.
Get in the cab, get 910. That was terrible.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was.
Gentlemen, great at accents.
Gentlemen, great discussion. You know,
yeah. Good talk to y'all.
Touched on a lot of great stuff today. So
I guess I'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
And don't close your browser yet.
Okay, I will never close my browser ever.
And go fuck yourself.